Chris Pine went from little-known actor to Hollywood heartthrob in mere months as a result of landing the role of Captain James T. Kirk in J.J. Abrams' Star Trek reboot, and since then has appeared in plenty of blockbuster films. His next film, the DC tentpole Wonder Woman 1984, is tentatively scheduled for December 2020, meaning he's about to become the focus of public attention once more. Even though the handsome actor has been in the spotlight for over a decade, there are still a few things you may not know about him. So, here are 10 fascinating facts about Chris Pine. He has a bachelor's degree in English. Pine graduated from the University of California, Berkeley in 2002. In addition, he studied abroad for a year at the University of Leeds in the UK. He comes from a famous family. His grandparents on his mother's side, Max M. Guilford and Anne Gwynn, were an entertainment lawyer and leading lady who starred in more 60 films, respectively. His mother, Gwynn Guilford, is an actress and has appeared in a handful of films including Masters of the Universe and Fade to Black. His father, Robert Pine, is famous for his roles in The Bold and the Beautiful, The Office, and Chips. In fact, Pine's first TV appearance happened on Chips when he was just 3 years old. In 1983, Pine joined his dad on the show as a boy named Christopher, and the two teamed up for an adorable duet of Hurry, Hurry Climb the Ladder. He was on ER. Despite his debut as 3-year-old, a lot of sources will remember Chris Pine's first really memorable appearance from a 2003 episode of ER, where he played a drunk teenager recovering from a 5-day bender. The entirety of Pine's lines, "I got drunk at a Valentine's Day party. It was a blowout, it was icky." Breakthrough role. Despite his success now, getting his big break wasn't so easy for Pine. In 2006, Pine revealed that he took part in a theater festival in Massachusetts 2 summers after he graduated college and then went to LA to pursue work, but once he was there he started to think it wasn't going to happen and planned to move to New York. "I bought a plane ticket and found a place to live in New York, packed my bags, and of course the universe told me that I was not meant to go. Suddenly a week before I was supposed to leave, I had 3 job offers and one of them was my first movie. I think that when you let go and throw it all away and stop getting attached and say whatever happens, happens, you don't invest too much in anything particular, and things work out." Luckily for Pine, his first movie role was as Nicholas Devereaux in the hit film The Princess Diaries 2, Royal Engagement. He worked at a restaurant. Before his big break, he worked at a restaurant. In an interview with Esquire in 2013, Pine recalled his time in the restaurant industry, saying, "I had a job at this French restaurant, and I hated it. I don't like serving, I don't like getting people ketchup." Getting that movie The Princess Diaries 2 meant that I was going to become a full-time screen actor. He made history on Star Trek. Pine became the youngest actor to ever play the lead of Captain Kirk in the 2009 film at just 28 years old. Interestingly enough, that's not the only thing which is remarkable about his age when being cast in this role. At 28 years old, he is also the first ever Captain Kirk to have been born after the series began. In other words, he is starring in a series which has been going for longer than he has been alive. He actually wrote to the original Kirk, William Shatner, before filming began and asked for advice about the role, resulting in Shatner giving him his blessing and wishing him good luck in the captain's chair. Losing roles. He was rumored to be in line for the role of Green Lantern Hal Jordan that went to Ryan Reynolds, and with the stir he caused by auditioning for Star Trek, he was quickly asked to audition for another huge 2009 film Avatar. Unfortunately, his audition for Jake Sully ended up being, according to Pine, the worst audition he ever gave. Apparently the audition was going so badly that Pine stopped himself, shook the casting director's hand, and just left because he was messing it up so bad. He's been arrested before. When it comes to big stars getting into trouble, most would never think of Chris Pine as being one of them. Regardless, he has actually had a brush on the wrong side of the law in March 2014 when filming Z for Zachariah in New Zealand. Pine was pulled over and then arrested near Methven after he was unable to pass a roadside breath alcohol test. He pleaded guilty to drunk driving after having 4 drinks at a pub, but thanks to his clean record, the judge said the incident was out of character and Pine was prohibited from driving in New Zealand for 6 months and had to pay $93 in reparation. He has a wonderful singing voice. We know he can act, we know he can look good, or even really great, and he is also a talented singer. Aside from singing in the 2014 film musical Into the Woods, Pine also sang with Barbra Streisand for her 2016 Duets album. Streisand describes Pine as one of the hotties in Hollywood and reached out directly to see if he was interested. Pine initially worried the entire album would include him, but felt much better once he realized it was just one song. As he says, he did his worst Frank Sinatra impression and hoped for the best. He has a shoe fetish. As it turns out, Chris Pine has a bit of a shoe fetish. Women's shoes, in particular. In an interview with Australia's GQ in October 2014, Pine spoke about his fascination with women's shoes, saying, "Not to wear, just to look at. A good pair of heels on a beautiful woman is a sight to behold."